Welcome to Momo's Storytime. Today's tales are full of crunchy leaves, cosy air, and autumn magic. The Boy Who Collected Autumn. The Boy Who Collected Autumn. It was a golden afternoon in October. The wind was soft, the air smelled like apples, and the leaves were busy dancing their way to the ground. Benny Button, age 8.5, had a brand new idea, and that was always dangerous. He decided he was going to collect autumn. He took a big empty jar from the kitchen and marched into the yard. First he caught a red leaf, then an orange one, then a yellow one that looked like sunshine. He dropped them into the jar proudly, but then he frowned. It still doesn't feel like autumn, he said. He added a handful of crispy grass, a tiny pine cone, and one slightly confused ladybug, who politely crawled back out again. Fine, Benny sighed. I guess autumn doesn't want to be caught. He sat on the porch, watching the wind play tag with the leaves. Then something magical happened. A gust of wind swooped down and whispered, "Autumn isn't something you can keep, Benny. It's something you share." Benny looked around. The trees were glowing orange, the sky was painted gold, and his jar sparkled in the light. So he got up, opened the lid, and gently poured his collection back into the air. The wind swirled around him, laughing softly. And for just a second, the leaves danced in a circle, spelling out the word thanks. Benny grinned. "Okay," he said, "next time I'll just collect smiles." Then he ran back inside for pumpkin pie, leaving his empty jar shining quietly in the sun. The end. The cat who didn't like leaves. Muffin, the cat, was not having a good afternoon. The sun was shining, the air was cool, and the trees were dropping their leaves everywhere. Muffin didn't like that at all. Every time a leaf touched his tail, he jumped 3 feet in the air. When one landed on his head, he hissed like a tiny tiger. And when the wind blew piles of leaves across the yard, he puffed up like a fuzzy balloon. "Why can't the trees just stay still?" he grumbled. "They're so messy." He tried to nap under the porch, but the wind followed him there, sending a leaf right onto his nose. Achoo! That was it. Muffin marched straight to the biggest tree in the yard. "Hey, you! Stop dropping things on me," he meowed. The tree didn't answer. It just rustled softly. Then a single leaf drifted down and landed right between Muffin's paws. He looked closer. It wasn't just any leaf. It was golden, glowing faintly in the afternoon sun. Muffin blinked. The leaf sparkled, and a tiny voice said, "Maybe you don't dislike leaves. Maybe you just never played with them." Muffin's whiskers twitched. "Cats don't play with leaves," he said, but the golden leaf twirled in the air like a tiny dancer. Without thinking, Muffin pounced. The leaf floated left. He jumped left. It drifted right. He twirled right. And soon Muffin was leaping, spinning, rolling in the leaves, laughing in his own cat way. A soft, happy meow. When he finally flopped down, his fur was full of leaves, red, yellow, and brown. He looked like autumn itself. Muffin yawned. "Maybe leaves aren't so bad," he said. "They make great friends and even better pillows." Then he curled up in a warm pile of leaves and fell fast asleep. The end. The feather that wanted to fly. The feather that wanted to fly, gentle, whimsical, and inspiring. 11 Labs Ready version. It was a quiet afternoon in late autumn. The wind had slowed down, and most of the leaves were already gone. On the edge of the park, near an old wooden bench, lay a single white feather. It had fallen from a bird that had flown south that morning, but the feather didn't know that. "I want to fly too," it said softly. "I want to see clouds and mountains and oceans." A dry leaf beside it laughed. "You? You're just a feather. You can't fly on your own." The feather sighed. Maybe the leaf was right. It tried to lift itself once, twice, but only spun in tiny circles. Then a little girl walked by. Her name was Ella, and she was wearing a red scarf and holding a storybook. She saw the feather and smiled. "Oh, hello there," she said. "You look lonely." She picked it up gently and held it high. "Let's help you see the sky." Ella threw the feather into the air. It floated, then fell, then floated again, gliding in the soft afternoon breeze. For a moment it really did fly. It twirled like a dancer, glowing in the golden light. Ella clapped her hands. "See? You just needed a friend." The feather drifted down, landing on her book. It looked happy, if feathers can look happy. When Ella walked home, she tucked it between the pages of her storybook, and from that day on, whenever she opened the book, the feather fluttered slightly, as if remembering how it once flew. The end.